President Trump is defending himself this morning as his administration is facing an uproar over new reporting that he pressed Ukraine's president, Volodymyr Zelensky, 8 times, according to the Wall Street Journal, to investigate Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden's son during a phone call on July 25th.
This whistleblower, or whoever it was, because it sounds like it's not a whistleblower, you can't have that happen to a president of the United States. The conversation, by the way, was absolutely perfect. It was a beautiful, warm, nice conversation. When a president speaks to the head of another country, he has to be able to speak to those people.
If there really is nothing there, why shouldn't the White House just let Congress, let the Gang of Eight, the intelligence leaders and the leaders of the House and Senate, look at this whistleblower complaint? If it's as innocent as you say, then that will clear it all up.
I think that would be a terrible precedent. Conversations between world leaders are meant to be confidential. And if every time someone, for political reasons, raised a question and all of a sudden those conversations were disclosed publicly, and when you disclose them to Congress, lots of times they leak into the press, then why would world leaders want to have conversations together? I wasn't on the call, but I have no reason to believe that the president pressured or anything else any foreign leader. This was largely a congratulatory call. There'll be a meeting this week. I think this is a lot being made up about one person's speculation.
Say you know nothing about this, but let me ask you this question. The Ukrainian presidential readout of the conversation said they discussed, quote, investigation of corruption cases which inhibited the interaction between Ukraine and the USA. The president tweeted Saturday, it was a perfectly fine and respectful conversation. Do you think it's, quote, perfectly fine to ask a foreign leader to investigate a political opponent?
I think I saw a statement from the Ukrainian foreign minister yesterday said there was no pressure applied in the course of the conversation. I do think if Vice President Biden behaved inappropriately, if he was protecting his son and intervened with the Ukrainian leadership in a way that was corrupt, I do think we need to get to the bottom of that, Martha, and I hope that we will. I hope that if Vice President Biden engaged in behavior that was inappropriate, I hope the American people will come to learn that.
This would be, I think, the most profound violation of the presidential oath of office. Certainly during this presidency, which says a lot, but perhaps during just about any presidency. There is no privilege that covers corruption. There is no privilege to engage in underhanded discussions. And again, I don't know if this is the subject of whistleblower complaint, but if it is, it needs to be exposed.
I'm hoping the Department of Justice will look at the Biden-Ukraine connection like we looked at the Trump-Russia connection.
So you're calling for an investigation
Absolutely.
by the DOJ into Ukraine and its dealings into the United States?
Can you imagine if this was the Trump family doing business like this? So, I like Joe Biden. I like him a lot. But you can't have it both ways here.
Yeah.
They've done everything but turned the Trump world upside down. When it comes to this president, there are no rules, including a phone call.
He views Joe Biden as the greatest threat to his reelection. This is a House matter. I do think that they should investigate until it's clear what's their grounds for proceeding. And frankly, as someone who serves in the Senate, I know the jury. If there were to be an impeachment from the House, the jury in this case who would ultimately decide whether or not the president is removed is the current Senate. And given the crickets that we're hearing from the Republican majority, I think it's pretty clear under no circumstances would they act to actually remove the president from impeachment. I think this could easily be put to rest not by relying on a press statement by the Ukrainian government, but by releasing to Congress and the public the actual transcript of this call.